Hello, once again, this is Antonio, and I'm coming at you with another exciting video. Now, in this case, Judge Manning, this is an older trial, but the contents of the trial, nevertheless, this guy has 30 arrests, 18 probation violations. He's a futuristic criminal, not even a career criminal. He did so many crimes, he committed for some people future. He don't never. Some people just need to be. They need to be told what to do, when to use the bathroom, when to eat. They need to be told everything because some people ain't worth the sweat in their body. You let these people out here, they're gonna hurt you or hurt somebody or even hurt themselves. So let's go and dive into the video and let's see how Judge Manning preside over this case. Also, thank you for all my new subscribers. We're on the road to 10,000. Don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel, as we'll be dropping more and more heat. Don't hesitate. Nevertheless, let's rock and roll.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Same here.
Harry?
I'm good.
All right, Officer, you want to come on up here to the stand? You're here on the Andrews, right? Corporal, right? Corporal, sorry. Okay, didn't see the stripes. Sure, go ahead.
You swear in front of the testimony to give the court the truth, the whole truth, no but the truth, so.
Yes, sir.
Go on and take a seat. State and spell your first and last name.
It's Xavier Dean. First name is going to be spelled Xavier. Last name Dean, Dean.
All right, this is position 3, Bostic 22 CP 214041, Adonis Andrews, 92 days without indictment. We got criminal damage to property in the second degree and battery family violence, first count. So before pre-trial isn't feeling real good today, so do you mind if we go ahead and get the criminal history from her so she can go ahead and leave?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Is it okay with you, Ms. Gowdy? Pre-trial.
But in regards to Adonis Andrews, 30 prior arrests, 18 arrests for probation violation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 FTAs, 2013 PTI on aggravated battery, criminal trespass, theft by shoplifting, 2018 terrorist threats, 2018 theft by shoplifting. Theft by taking, 2017. In an open theft by shoplifting, 21 CR 0001075G. And criminal damage to property, 21 CP 2034. That's this one. 20 CP 193418. Open case. And open misdemeanors for theft by shoplifting. Nothing further.
All right. Thank you, pre-trial. Feel better.
Speedy recovery.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, Judge. ADA Matthew Norwood for the state. Good afternoon, Officer Andrews. Thank you for being here. Can you start off by telling us where you currently employed?
He's not Officer Andrews. He's Corporal Dean.
Officer Dean, Corporal Dean. My apologies. Where are you currently employed?
City of South Florida Police Department.
How long have you been employed there?
3 years.
What are your duties with the City of South Fulton Police Department?
Patrol.
What do your duties on patrol encapsulate?
Covering different beat areas. I may have 2 areas at a time, maybe 3. Doing traffic citations or responding to calls.
911 calls?
Yes, sir.
Are you post certified?
Yes, sir.
Have you been post certified throughout your tenure with the City of South Fulton Police Department?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any prior law enforcement experience?
No, sir.
Can you tell the court about the incident that occurred on September 8th, 2022?
Yes, I can. On that particular day, I got dispatched to Fitzgerald Place in reference to a vandalism call. Upon there, one of the victims, the mother, she advised me that Mr. Adonis got into a verbal dispute at first because she came home and the kitchen wasn't dirty and she made a meal. She was trying to enjoy it and everything else. And she just asked him, be considerate of people, if she made something, leave something for everybody else. Apparently he got upset. They began to have an argument. Her daughter was in the residence at the time, heard it, asked him to leave. He left, then came back, punching holes in the wall and everything. Then through the garage, through the punching holes at the bottom of the house. Then proceeded to go upstairs towards where the mother was. And the daughter room was right there in the middle between both of them. Mr. Adonis got aggressive, approached her as it ready to fight. The daughter stepped in. They began to fight. Once the fight was broken up, he left prior to our meeting coming in there, probably maybe 5 minutes before.
Okay. Is 711 Fitzgerald Place, is that in Fulton County?
Yes, sir, South Fulton.
South Fulton, it's in South Fulton. In South Fulton's in Fulton County.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I just check? Is that mic? Does it have the green light on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay, bet. I was just making sure. Based on your knowledge, training, and experience, how much damage was done to the walls?
Looking at the walls and looking at the number of the holes that was in the walls,
Yeah,
it was going to total up to $500.
more than $500.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And have you responded to other calls like this?
Yes.
Did you said the victim was Waltina Chris? That was her residence?
Yes, sir.
And what is the relationship between Waltina Chris and the defendant?
They were, I think, auntie and nephew. Yes, sir.
Okay. And the additional victim,
Alexis.
Alexandra Williams?
Yes, sir.
What is the relationship between those two?
Between the defendant and Alex.
Yeah.
Cousins.
And the defendant had been living in the house before, though.
Yes, sir.
You know how long?
Miss Martina stated that she after one of his last incidents, let him reside there.
Okay.
For about a while.
So they were members of the same household.
Yes.
Okay. With respect to identifying the defendant, how did you confirm the identity of the defendant?
I asked Ms. Martina his first, middle, and last name, and then confirmed it through the birth date through our system.
Okay. And a picture came up?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you took out warrants?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you see the person in the courtroom today who was identified as a suspect?
Yes, sir.
Everybody remove the mask?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
You can stand up if you have to. Can you describe where they are sitting in the courtroom and what they are wearing?
He's wearing a blue jumpsuit. He has a low haircut, dark skin with a beard.
All right. Thank you. You can have a seat now. Your Honor, may the record reflect that the officer has identified the defendant, Adonis Andrews.
All right, noted.
All right. What time of day was this incident?
It occurred around nighttime. I don't remember the time exactly.
Okay. Who called 911?
Miss Martina.
Right. Did Alexandra Williams suffer any injuries?
Yes.
What injuries?
She had a laceration on her bottom lip, and her jaws were swollen.
Okay.
But she didn't want medical assistance.
Okay, so she declined An ambulance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was there anybody else in the home?
Just those two.
Did you speak to anybody else besides Waltina, Chris, or Alexandra Williams about the incident?
It was just them two, so no.
And they both described what the defendant did to the home?
Yes.
Was there any video?
No, sir.
No ring camera or anything?
No, sir.
Right. Where is the garage in relationship to the entrance to the home?
The garage is from the entrance. The front door will be my left-hander to the right. From driveway, garage, front door to the left of it.
Okay. And did the defendant use any objects to put holes in the wall?
A lamp.
What's that?
A lamp.
A lamp? Okay. Did you collect that as evidence?
When I got there, I think she disposed of the lamp. So, but she told me verbally.
Was there any other evidence collected when you arrived on scene?
No, sir. Just
okay. And what did Alexandra Williams say was the cause of her injuries?
Her and Adonis were fighting.
What was it?
Fighting.
Oh, fighting. As in, what happened during the fight?
She stepped in.
Lean up a little bit because the reporter needs to hear you in the mic. That's okay. She needs to hear you in the microphone.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
What was your question? I'm sorry.
What did Alexandra Williams describe as the nature? How did she describe the fight? That's what I was going for.
She was in her room. Then Miss Alexandria, she was in her room.
Yeah.
Heard the commotion. She stepped out, see Mr. Adonis going towards her mother. She stepped in between. They got to fighting. They both brawling with their fists. And she ended up getting a busted lip and a jaw swollen.
Okay. And this began as a verbal altercation between
yes,
the defendant and the aunt, Waltina, Chris. Yes, and it was escalated by this defendant into a physical altercation with the cousin, Alexandra Williams.
Yes.
Okay. How long was the fight?
I wouldn't know.
Okay. And the holes, did the defendant Waltina or did Miss Waltina ever advise giving consent to allow the defendant to punch holes into any part of the house?
No.
And the holes were just in the garage?
No, there was from the garage, there was a hole.
Okay.
A hole.
Oh, yeah.
Then upstairs, multiple holes.
Throughout the house?
Yeah, throughout the house.
How many floors is the house?
Two.
And this is a residence?
Yes.
No, just a one family home?
Yes.
Okay, or a single family home? Okay. Is there anything about this incident we haven't covered during the course of your direct?
No, everything's been covered.
Did Waltina Chris advise that she planned to have the damages assessed?
She said she was.
Did she have any idea about how much the property damage would be?
No, she stated she was gonna make that call later on.
Okay.
The next day.
But again, based on your knowledge training experience, the property damage would exceed $500.
Yes, sir.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Ms. Gowdy,
Can you hear me from here right now?
can you hear Madam Court Reporter?
And I can move to the podium.
Tap that microphone, see if it makes sure it's. Can you hear?
I can hear.
Okay. We'll try it. And if not, I can move to the podium. All right. So can you hear me now? Is that good?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So good afternoon, Corporal Dean. How are
How you
you?
doing?
All right. So you said that you responded to the incident on September the 8th of 2022.
Yes, ma'am.
And who else responded with you?
Just myself.
Just yourself. And upon arrival, did you have on body cam?
Yes.
And was that body cam working on the date of September the 8th?
Yes, ma'am.
And upon interacting with the residents of the address where the incident took place, did you turn on your body cam?
Yes.
Okay. And so your body cam was recording throughout the entirety of your interviews within the home?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that body cam has been preserved for later review?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So upon arrival, you said that you met with the Waltima Chris.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so to my understanding on direct examination, I thought you initially said that Waltima Chris was the mother of Adonis Andrews.
Yes. I mean, yes, in my report.
Okay. So she's the mom of Adonis Andrews, not the aunt.
Yeah, just due to the relationship of what she told me.
Okay.
She took him on as a son, so I just wrote in the report that way.
Okay. So Waltima Chris was there, and then you said you also later spoke to an Alex Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
And so those are the only parties inside the home?
Yes, ma'am.
And to your knowledge, those are the only two persons who lived at that residence normally?
The daughter comes and visits.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you spoke to Miss Chris and she called you in reference to a vandalism call.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so did she mention on the call that there was any type of damage to the home?
Just through the notes, through the what we received on our end, just a vandalism call. That was the call. It was at 22. So I just proceeded to go to assess the damage, and then later found out that 29.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sorry, a dispute happened.
Okay. And had you been previously called out to this address for vandalism?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So had you been previously called out to this address involving Mr. Andrews?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Had you been called out to this address previously for any type of domestic related incidents?
Not that particular address, no.
Okay. All right. So you said you got there, you were able to speak to Miss Chris, who then later showed you various holes within the home.
Right.
Okay. So did she actually point out each hole directly to you?
Yes.
Okay. And on your body cam, you're capturing each hole.
Yes. As I'm walking, I'm
all right.
turning.
Now, did she mention to you whether or not some of those holes were previously there based on just like wear and tear of the home?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you inquire about whether or not any of those holes had been previously there due to, prior wear and tear?
I'm just going by what she stated, that he punched holes in the wall and they had a big altercation. So she had to break them up.
Okay. So you said there was one hole in the garage, and then you said later inside of the actual structure of the home, there was also a hole in one of the upstairs bedrooms?
Oh, yeah. Multiple holes.
Multiple holes. When you say multiple, do you have an exact count of how many holes you found? What was that? 5? Okay. Okay. So in terms of 5 holes, each of the 5 holes inside of the home were actually captured on the body cam?
Yes.
Okay. Could you give just a general description of each hole as you recall it?
You could tell some were by fist.
Okay.
You could tell one was by object. It could have been a body part, something like somebody getting pushed into a wall, but it's about that size. Then you could tell just other hands, like hand holes.
Okay. And Miss Chris identified for you that each of the 5 holes you observed upstairs were caused by Mr. Andrews?
Yes.
Okay. Now, while you're looking at the damages in the home, you had the opportunity to encounter Miss Alex Williams as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You had the opportunity to observe injuries on her body?
Yes, her face.
Okay. So while you're speaking to Miss Williams and Miss Waltima, is Mr. Andrews on the scene?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you have the opportunity to encounter Mr. Andrews later?
No. Miss Waltima stated that he left. I asked him, did he leave by vehicle or on foot? She stated that he left on foot, possibly got a ride. And so I inquired what was his description, just in case I encounter him in the neighborhood on my ride through. She gave me his description of clothing, but as I did my ride through, I didn't see him. So that's why the warrants came out.
Okay. Did you ever have the opportunity to speak to Mr. Andrews regarding this incident?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you have the opportunity to review Mr. Andrews' body as it relates to his general appearance after the fact?
No, he wasn't there for me to do none of that.
Okay. So you didn't have the opportunity to see if he had like any injuries to his hands that may have been the result of punching a wall?
No, he wasn't there.
Okay. Now, you said there was also a lamp involved?
Yes.
Who made the introduction of the lamp to you?
Miss Waltima.
Miss Waltima?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Waltima.
And could you just give it a general description of the lamp, like the size, the shape?
Like a regular size lamp.
Okay. Now, did the lamp itself have damage to it?
I didn't see the lamp because she said it was broken.
Okay. Did you observe a broken lamp?
I didn't see a broken lamp when I walked in at all.
Okay. Now, in speaking to Ms. Waltima and Ms. Alex Williams, did either one of them tell you that Mr. Andrews had a history of mental health?
Speaking with Ms. Waltima, she said that he throughout, not trying to get deep, but throughout his life, he had issues and everything else. That's about all that she told me.
Okay. And did she say if any of those issues play a role in the events that took place on September the 8th?
Repeat that. I'm sorry.
Of course. So did she mention how the events that he went through over the course of his life, how they played a role, if any, on the events that took place on September the 8th?
No.
Okay.
She just basically gave me a general that he been in trouble for a minute. That she took him in and everything, while the rest of the family didn't want to deal with him. So she took him in and went from there. She didn't go in depth or any mental illness or anything related towards that.
Okay. Now, at the conclusion of speaking to Ms. Williams and Ms. Waltima, you said they both mentioned to you that they would get an estimate done as it relates to the damages that were found within the home.
Yes.
All right. Did you ever recover or receive anything regarding the estimate for the repairs?
No, ma'am. I advised them when they find out to send it to our CID. My bad. I'm sorry. Criminal Investigations Division with the total with the case number attached to it. So I haven't received it. I haven't received it or got anything from that time.
Do you know if anyone within your department, if they ever recovered anything regarding the estimate for the repairs?
No, ma'am. I wouldn't know.
And as it relates to after the incident took place, did you have the opportunity to speak to Ms. Waltima and Ms. Alex Williams again?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did they express after the fact whether or not they wanted to pursue charges in this case?
Ms. Williams, when I asked Ms. Williams, like what happened to everything, and to tell me, she was like, she told me they got in a fight, but in regards to the charges or anything, she was like, just to do what need to be done. And Ms. Waltima was like, she wants everything that can be done to be done.
Okay. I have nothing else at this time, Your Honor. Thank you. Norwood?
Nothing, or no further questions from the state, Your Honor. May our witness be excused?
Yeah, stay safe out there, for
Yes,
So you gotta leave back and talk to me.
argument. No, well, we'll wait on, we'll let him get out. Sorry.
Have a good one. Appreciate it.
All right, argument.
Yes, Judge, we would ask that you find probable cause for both counts. And
Your Honor, we'll spin on the evidence.
All right, probable cause of criminal damage purpose second degree and battery family violence first offense. Go ahead, Ms. Gowdy on bond.
Yes, Your Honor. Before the court is Mr. Andrews. Mr. Andrews is 27 years old. He's a lifelong resident of the state of Georgia. I recognize the address that is on his pretrial report is the incident location. We do have a subsequent address for Mr. Andrews. He can reside with his grandmother, which is 4310 Melanie Lane. That's Melani.
Melanie Lane.
Melanie. I did file a change of address reflecting this. But Melanie Lane, College Park, Georgia, 30349. I have had the opportunity to speak to both Ms. Chris and Ms. Williams regarding their sentiments on this case. Neither want to move forward. They both have written affidavits stating that they don't want to move forward. And I think what's most salient in those affidavits is that they spoke about wanting to see Mr. Andrews get some type of mental health treatment. I explained to them that the court obviously cannot mandate, but it can highly encourage or suggest that Mr. Andrews follow up on those things. Since he's been in custody for the last 3 months, we have reached out to River's Edge to set up or reinstate kind of counseling services that Mr. Andrews can go through. Unfortunately, Rivers Edge is not a program that would pick him up directly from the jail. He would have to self-report. And so if this court is so inclined to change his bond, I would ask for the court to maybe put a condition on there to ask Mr. Andrews to self-report, and also add a condition that allows the jail to give him a 30-day supply of his medication so they can get his medication and have it on the streets and be successful, Your Honor. Additionally, as it relates to looking at his GCIC, Your Honor, even though there are 30 cycles, I didn't see a long history of him committing any offenses related to batteries, anything related to aggravated assault, anything involving a firearm. I didn't see any prior criminal damage to properties. I mean, most of the offenses, if not all of them, were, for the most part, either marijuana less than an ounce or theft offenses, Your Honor. So I don't believe he has a propensity to commit acts of violence in the future, has a propensity to commit acts of damaging property in the future, Your Honor. I do believe that after speaking to the Chris's and Williams family, as well as Mr. Andrews, this really appears to be a situation where Mr. Andrews just had a lapse of medication and as a result just had an episode. And so as such, we're asking the court to consider UJR with RAP service or level 2 for Mr. Andrews, with again the suggestion that he follow up with the services to Rivers Edge and take his medication daily, Your Honor.
Mr. Norwood?
Yes, Judge. The $5,000 good bond he submitted is fair and reasonable. $3,500 count 1, $1,500 count 2. With the no further violent contact with Alexandra Williams, we would ask Your Honor to allow it to remain. With respect to Ayala, based on the prior no further violent contact, the nature of these allegations, we would submit there is a danger posed to Alexandra Williams, as well as the property of Waltina Chris, given the nature of the history, 18 violations of probation, 5 FTAs, an open pretrial case. We would submit there is a significant risk of reoffending or committing additional felonies pending trial should the defendant make bond, as well as risk of not returning to this jurisdiction to face the charges. However, we believe any modification in Your Honor's discretion, but request that in addition to the no further violent contact, as counsel has also put forth a requirement to take the medicine daily. Nothing further from Your Honor. For Your Honor.
Yeah, is the bail project going to help him get out, or?
So no, so we already submitted a bail project and they said that because they don't partner with the Rivers Edge, they can't help them.
Okay, there's not another place they partner with that they could help?
Not that I
I
know
guess they
of.
didn't offer anything, so probably not, right?
Not that I know of, Your Honor.
All right, let's see. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, no further violent contact with Alexandra, Alexundra, Williams. No further violent contact with Waltina, Waltina, Chris, Criss. Let's see, stay away from 7-Eleven Fitzgerald Place.
Judge Manning?
Let's see.
Judge Manning?
Yeah.
If I may speak or whatever and just say one thing, whatever, before you consider my bond.
I don't know. You better ask Miss Gowdy if you can.
I did ask her, whatever. She told me just to ask you. I just wanted to say that since I've been incarcerated for these 3 months, I've had a lot of time to think, and me and my mother and my sister have reconciled, and they want me to really continue to receive critical and really, really receive the treatment that I need. At the time when I got into the fight with my sister at home and stuff.
Well, you allegedly got in the fight with your sister.
Oh, allegedly, I'm sorry. Allegedly got in a fight with my sister. I had been off my meds and I was going through a lot. And I'm sorry, I'm just a little nervous.
That's okay.
I really, really, really am deeply apologetic. And I've expressed, my mom's birthday was yesterday and I actually talked to her last night. She told me she had talked to Miss Gowdy and stuff. Miss Gowdy has been all she can to help us and stuff. And if you just give me this opportunity, Miss Judge Manning, to get back out this time, I promise you, I swear to God, I have this jail sanction has taught me a lot, and I am I'm very apologetic and I'm very remorseful, and I miss my mom and my sister so much, and we're working on it, and I'm not perfect, but I'm willing to go back to Rivers Edge because right before I got incarcerated, I was going almost every day to my therapy sessions. I was receiving counseling. My grandmother had just got a refill on my medications because I take 2. I take Zyprexa and I take Olazepam, and that's for my anxiety, my post-traumatic disorder, and my bipolar disorder. And so if you grant me this UGR or this signature bond, I can get out and go back to River's Edge. I promise you I could report to you guys every weekend if I have to, or I could, my mom, she said she would be willing to bring me down to the court and report monthly. And my grandmother and my grandparents already said I could come back and live with them. And I've been in here over 3 months now, and I'm really apologetic, and I've learned my lesson, and I would never get into another altercation or do this again. And I would never disrespect my mother or overeat at home or anything. And I promise you, I will do exactly what she says and what my grandparents say. And that's all I wanted to say. And I'm sorry.
Ms. Gowdy, do you know if pretrial is going to come off his other bond?
I think they already did, Your Honor.
So there's no bond on that?
It looks.
Or did they?
So it's my understanding, I don't see it on his booking screen.
Sometimes you got to go to the jail side. I know.
Yeah.
If they did, let us know. We can get it on a night calendar, like an emergency night calendar thing. Because let him out today or whatever, lower his bond today, he's going to be held. And I don't want him to get stuck with that's one that's hid. So if you can see, Bostic's already went to lay down and rest.
Your Honor, when I submitted the bail project referral, his bond was exactly $5,000, and the other case wasn't on his booking screen, Your Honor.
All right. So, but if they take off and they say no bond, just let me know. We'll put him back on it. Mr. Norwood, anything else?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
So what are you asking for, Ms. Gowdy, in this?
So I'll be requesting a UGR level 2. I think that would add the extra layer of supervision. Because level 1 requires calling in once a month. So I think having him call in twice a month and just reporting on the status of whether or not he's taking his medication and or reporting to River's Edge, I think will hopefully suffice, Your Honor.
Did they go back to in-person reporting, or is that just for level 3 and up?
I haven't heard of any of my clients saying they're reporting in person anymore. So I think they're still phone reporting via the app. Now pretrial has an app on your phone.
Oh, see, we left Bostic, the lady with all the answers. I'll let her go. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know about the app because a lot of people talk about how if you're on like level 3, it'll go off in the middle of the night. You have to report within a certain amount of time. If you don't, that counts as a violation. So I know there's definitely an app they're using to report.
That's advanced on. Sir, if they change this to you have to report in person, are you going to be able to get there?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Judge Manning. I will. I promise you, whatever I have to do, I can report. I can report in person. Whatever. My grandparents already said since I'm going to stay with them at Melanie Lane in College Park. My grandma, they don't work. My grandfather, he works, but my grandmother doesn't. So she's willing to help me. She said she'll bring me to she takes me to all my therapy appointments at River's Edge. So she can bring me down here to report to you guys periodically and monthly, so I can check in and bring proof. Like Ms. Gowdy did, my mom, didn't she submit to you my last medication and stuff? So I can bring those, River's Edge provides me those files, Judge Manning. So I can bring those in to show you guys that I'm consistently taking my medications and everything.
Any objections, Mr. Norwood?
Just wanted that the state would be wanting to confirm that the grandparents are okay with the defendant living there. But that
so we'll say must live, and that's a yeah. Oh, I got it. I may not say it Melanie instead of Milani there.
It's on the change of address, I thought, Your Honor.
It's Melanie Lane. Yes,
well, she shops at Target too, so that's why she's.
My grandparents have been living there forever, so I kind of grew up between there and my mom's house. I grew up in the house, so
all right,
they've been living there forever.
So, Ms. Paul, he must reside at 4310 Melanie Lane in College Park, 30349. So I'm ordering you to live there, okay?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yes,
that's okay. I
apologize.
No, that's okay. I know. I look like my dad. I'm like my dad.
I'm so sorry.
So you must self-report to River's Edge.
Yes. Okay.
And will the jail supply if I say jail needs to supply with 30 days?
Yes, they will, because I've been taking it. They already have me back on my meds now. So when I get released, they did it the last time, and so they'll submit me a 30-day supply. Okay. And I also have my property another 30 days. I just got my meds refilled before I got arrested, so I have those in stock as well. Okay. He's still in your thunder, Ms. Gowdy. So the jail must supply him with 30-day supply of all.
We do a release order.
Yeah,
that has that written on it.
All his medications too, and I don't want to hook you up with the ankle monitor, but you had that 18 probation violations and 5 FTAs. And the only reason I want to do it is to make sure that you do go to River's Edge. All right. So we'll have an ankle monitor paid for by the county. You'll have a 24-hour curfew except for court, medical, lawyer, attending appointments at River's Edge, or anything else they want you to do. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what else? Work. If you get a job, employment, you have to supply the name of your employer, proof of employment, and a schedule to Ms. Gowdy and the ankle monitoring company. But when I look at the report, I want to see a lot of reporting to River's Edge. Okay. And of course, you can go by the drugstore.
Yes, Judge Manning, I will.
To pick up your supply. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so Ms. Pearl, we'll date UJR to pretrial level 2. Now, I think they're going to give you a sheet or something to get out, but I think you have to support the pretrial within 24 hours of getting out, okay?
Okay, and is pretrial still down? Is it still located downtown?
I think their office is located over there at Rice Street, or where do they report?
So they give them a paper as a release from the jail. That's the number where they have to call.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got that, okay, but they'll put that ankle monitor on you. Make sure you keep that ankle monitor charged, okay?
I will, Judge Manning. Thank you.
Follow the rules of the house of your grandparents and your mother.
I will, Judge Manning. And I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. And I promise you I won't let you guys down.
Okay.
And if I need any more questions, can I just call Ms. Gowdy? Because she has a relationship with my mom and stuff now.
Ms. Gowdy is a fantastic lawyer. You can call Ms. Gowdy. I call her when I have questions.
Thank you so much, Ms. Gowdy.
Absolutely. Sir, I'm counting on you, okay? Got a lot of faith in you. You sound very sincere. So best of luck to you.
Thank you. Judge Manning, will I get my ankle monitor tonight before I get released?
They'll give it to you before you get released.
Thank you, Ms. Gowdy. I
don't know if it's, well, Ms. Gowdy's going to find out about your other cases, okay? Well,
thank you.
All right. Thank you. Best of luck to you, sir.
Okay, so it's to me it's kind of ironic, and it may be just me, how these career criminals who say they have such mental issues, when they about to get released from jail, they speak with the best sense in the world. Maybe it's just me. He spoke with such grace and mercy, you wouldn't even know that he was arrested 30 times and 18 probation violations. A career criminal can walk straight at least once a day. 30 arrests, 18 violations, and he almost got out of court without a tether. But guess what? Judge Alex Manning, to be specific, say not so much. You're going to get this ankle monitor before you walk out of here. So, nevertheless, this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, subscribe, as we'll be coming to you more videos in the future. And once again, we'll see you in the next video.